Little bit of appreciation for the world's worst Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's horrific.
Oh, wow.
How much do you think that cost on Amazon?
£4.
Yeah?
£2.99, I'm saying.
I think it was 12.
The tinsel, you get
12
it on
quid?
the package. The tinsel, the Merry Christmas behind me and the tree for
Merry
about
Christmas is
$5.99. It's awful.
No, I've been,
Merry Christmas is
I've
all
been
right.
trade description. I've been trimmed up there. To be fair,
Oh, God.
It's like you get bigger in your car on dashboard, don't you?
Yeah,
actually?
that's not great, mate. That's not great. We'll upgrade it next week.
but if we put in 2 tool thinking, you wouldn't be. You know,
Yeah, see, yeah, it's got to be a
Might be
certain
better
size.
today.
yeah, we haven't quite.
Got you paranoid now.
I just popped a spot on my eye, right, and Toes is on me now because it's oozing like gunge. Should we talk about football, lads?
Yes.
It was a good weekend of Premier League football. Didn't get off to a good start, did it? Because Liverpool got called off against
gutted
Everton,
about that.
which was a bit gutting. But we did have some good games. We're going to start talking Spurs, Chelsea, because this was a proper game, lads, wasn't it?
Well, they come. Like, I don't know about you guys, but Chelsea, the first 12 minutes, 2 goals, and for me, like they've taken the goals incredibly well.
Yep.
But Chelsea didn't look bad the first 15 minutes, did they?
No. I said last week, and I was laughed at because I said Maresca was probably my manager of the season so far, and it is what it is. But I think, yes, they started in terms of Cucurella, and we'll get onto the boots and bits and pieces, and he made 2 mistakes. But Spurs took the goals well. We can talk about the goal, and I'm sure we'll come on to that bit. But from that point on, they had started all right, Chelsea. Look, it was 2 anomalies, if you like. But I think he's done something really special with that group of players. And, you know, Big Fraser in goal made numerous saves.
Chelsea are a better team than Spurs, aren't they? It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
They're a better team than Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that seems to have got right as well is the dressing room, because they've got all these players and keeping everyone happy. I know, like, we're going to talk probably about the Jackson situation, but that in itself is incredible. The amount of players they've got and playing players in Europe and players playing in the Premier League and keeping everyone just...
I could not believe, right, that when it got to 2-2, obviously there was that massive Sonny chance where he was offside and he could have, and it would have been a difficult game. But even then, at 2-2, I kept thinking, Spurs know that they're the inferior team here. They know they're the inferior team, and Chelsea knew they were on top, and they just kept going. And it almost seemed inevitable that Chelsea were going to go on and score goals. And I just couldn't believe that. Spurs are at home. They're supposedly this front-footed, but they just looked like they knew they were going to get beat.
So what is that then, Fozzie?
It's a mentality thing. That's what I mean. And I can't believe it, because the way Postecoglou gets them going and the way this Spurs team supposedly are is front-footed, and we go for it and we attack. But even then, they knew they weren't as good as Chelsea.
But even at the start of the game, Spurs were on it. You could see they were on it. The fans, it was hostile. They were stupidly throwing things at players when they're taking corners and things like that. And you think Spurs are on it, 2-0 up, could go 3, could go 4. And then the whole mood just changed at 2 each.
I couldn't believe it.
It's
so quickly changed.
But the thing is, like, we talk about the tactics of the game, and watching the game, it were a phenomenal game of football. And obviously, Ange, I've been a real fan of the front foot and all this. But, like, for us being in the game, and he never changed tactically when Caicedo's always in there making that extra man. And then, look, I know Palmer's really clever how he gets into spaces, but how many times he's in between their lines, in between and in that pocket, and he's getting after... If you allow somebody like him in them spaces...
The bit there is the bit that's criminal for me. You have to notice that on the pitch. You have to notice it live in front of your eyes and say, right, lads, we're going to have to change it just a little bit just to stop him getting on the ball. Because Cole Palmer, I know that everybody's already said everything about him this season and last season and even in the last day or so since this game finished. But he is... I don't think there's another player in the Premier League. Mo Salah maybe, but there's not another player I would want in my team more than Cole Palmer.
Question going round online yesterday is... Cole Palmer, obviously Zola had a long career, but is Cole Palmer better than Zola, like in his prime? That was the question I saw going around.
I love how they're kind of very similar, but the way he works, right, the way Cole Palmer works and his honesty and how much he just wants to get on the ball, and he doesn't, like, you see the interview he did after the game, he don't care. He don't care. He's just scored 2 penalties. He's just Panenka'd one down the middle. He's just helped Chelsea to win in the game 4-3 away at Spurs. And he don't care. He just wants to go out and play his PlayStation.
Yeah. There's no motive behind anything, is there?
No motive.
He's a kid in the
care.
playground, literally. Yeah. And even when he comes off the playground, he's talking to his mates. That's the press.
What a player, mate. Honestly, he's so good.
Well, let's talk about that penalty. We know Fraser.
Yeah.
You know him as well as I know him. You've obviously been in his presence. Everybody here.
Yeah.
He's like some presence. 6'7" in
The
that
wall.
goal. The wall.
How brave.
And yeah, I mean, I know it's 3-2, but to do that penalty.
It's naughty.
Would Fraser be raging, Ben?
Yeah, he will be. It hurts your ego a little bit, that does. It hurts your ego, genuinely, because it's a big moment as well. If he misses that, Spurs get a bit of a wind and go, well, do you know what? We can go nick something here. Come on, let's go. But it just puts it all to bed, and everybody just gives it a little clap.
Well,
apart from me, I was watching it going, you little twat.
to be fair,
you little twat.
Big Frazzler, he knows he's done him, and as it bounces back out, he wants to swing his left foot, but he don't even connect with it properly because his head's that big.
That's the sort of thing in training, right? That if somebody ever did that to you in training, you would get the ball, you would sprint after them, and you would try and welly it at them as hard as you could. And the player that took the penalty would know it as well, so he would just start running. He would just start running because the respect levels are so low from it. It's horrible.
Well, also, as the keeper, you swing that boot. If that hits someone...
red card.
But also be like, sorry, because he's a nice guy as well.
Big fight. You mentioned a minute ago about Nicholas Jackson, about the Nicholas Jackson incident, and this is what I want to talk about quickly is it was 3-2. Chelsea just scored the third goal 3 minutes prior to that, and Nicholas Jackson was getting subbed off for Nkunku to come on, and his number came up, Jackson saw it, and instead of being one of these real nice team players that you want to see going over and going, come on, let's go, and getting behind Nkunku and saying well done to the fans, he put his shirt over his head. This was almost as if he was like chuntering to himself or even crying maybe. Yeah. And then he put his shirt over his head, and then as he walked off, he didn't look at Nkunku, he didn't look at the manager, he didn't give the fans any love. It was all about him in that moment. And I was thinking, I don't like that. Just be a team player. That's all I want from you, be a team player.
I think he thinks he's being clever there by putting over, like,
I know,
I'm not going to let the world know that I'm sulking, but at the same time, it's stupid because it's so obvious.
I don't want this to be the big theme about this game and stuff, because we'll talk about Cucurella's boots as well, which was a bit pathetic. It was a bit theatrical, wasn't it, sort of thing. But I did enjoy this game. I thought it was a fantastic game, and I was sat there captivated for 100 minutes or whatever it was in total. It was absolutely brilliant. Cucurella, what are you saying about his boots?
Have you always had the right footwear?
Always had the right footwear.
Have you, yeah.
Because
that's funny, isn't it? Because what about this? We just won the league, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we go away to Torquay United, the last game of the season, and someone forgets their boots. I mean,
I didn't know
taking
this.
your foot off the gas,
right.
Big week, obviously, celebrating.
Massive. I mean, must have been like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Right.
Back in training.
In my defence, right?
Friday.
Listen to this. In my defence, right? I've spent my career in the Premier League, yeah?
Oh my God.
I've spent my career in the Premier
League.
Worse. Where the bootman takes your boots for you, right? Yeah. You know that on a Friday, the bootman's is bend these boots. Yes,
so it's Bear's fault?
Mate, yeah,
it's Ewan's fault, is it?
Whereas when you play for Wrexham and you're in the National League, you are responsible for getting your own boots and either taking them yourself or putting them in the skip yourself. Okay. And if you haven't done that, then they are not getting taken.
But for the other 7-8 games you were there, it was all right.
And for some reason, it just totally slipped my mind.
Do you know what it is, Toes?
He had my boots on for the game and he wore them. And my kids' faces on.
I was banana foot and everything all over it.
Do you know what it is?
That's why he does it.
It's because he's got gloves and boots to remember.
Double the amount to remember. Double the amount to remember. But I like it.
It was petulant.
It was petulant. It was just pathetic, really. This was pathetic. It was the arm waving for me.
Is that because is it? I'm not defending it because, listen, it's not a huge deal at the end of the day. But is it?
It's considered 2 goals off it. So
I mean the reaction.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that he's European, he's Spanish, and they're quite theatrical, or if you were the manager or coach, would you be annoyed about his reaction?
Yeah, look, I'd be really annoyed because, you know, we're having a laugh and a giggle here, but the reality is they go out and have a walk on the field before the start, so yes, they're in the trainers at that point, but you warm up for 20 to 30 minutes in the boots you're going to play in. Yeah. So that's the time when you know that your footwear is either adequate or not. Look, I was surprised when the close-up came in the game because I thought he was going to be playing in moulds or something. He actually had studs in his boots. So he'd warmed up in them. They were perfectly fine in the warm-up. maybe he didn't warm up in the intensity of what the match is when he had the 2 actions and he slipped over. But that's just a European thing. I think if it were an English or a British player, he'd be really pissed at slipping over twice and conceding 2 goals. But he wouldn't make the kit man bring him another pair of boots and have all the theatre of changing his boots, and then there's an Instagram post with a pair of boots at the bin at the end.
It's the disrespect of the kit man there and then, though, because that guy there is being made to look a fool, like it's his fault.
Yeah.
He's made the kit man out to look like it's his fault. And everybody knows that kit men within football clubs, genuinely, mate, they are like the hub, aren't they? They're the heartbeat. They are the heartbeat. They do anything for everyone in that football club. And everybody loves them, absolutely buzzes off them. So for him to do that on the pitch it's bang out of order. It really is. It's not on whatsoever. And by the looks of it as well, it was like an identical pair of boots, a different colourway, but just still the same studs. So God knows what he was doing. He was just deflecting, basically.
But Chelsea were class.
Yeah, very good.
To be fair to them.
Brilliant game. Loved it.
What do you think about the red card? So you got Caicedo on Sarr, Kulusevski on Lavia. Toes, are they reds?
I don't know, really.
They'd have ruined the game, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. You got
definitely.
Derby, and I think you're right. It would have ruined the game, and it'd have been harsh. It weren't Stonewall. No.
I think that it's one of those where if they were given both of them,
you'd have stuck with it.
You wouldn't be surprised.
That's the world we live in now. That's just because of how football is nowadays. But I'm so glad none of them were given. Chelsea up to second now, absolutely flying. Spurs, I genuinely do think that if they carry on this way, Spurs win one, lose one, draw one, win one, lose one, then Postecoglou went far away from it, you know.
What about the penalties?
Sloppy.
So sloppy.
How stupid.
Yeah,
I know.
You're talking about Ange under pressure, and obviously he's under massive pressure. But as a coach or a manager, you've set your team up. You're actually 2-1 up, and you get a sliding tackle like that in the box, which is just absolutely bonkers. Yeah. And then Sarr, for the last penalty, he's going away from the bloody goals. It's even worse.
Yeah. 12 out of 12 for Cole Palmer, Premier League penalties. But are Chelsea going to win the league?
I don't think they'll win the league, but I think they're gonna probably run team Liverpool at the minute closer than what we.
And even if they don't, in fairness, it is a good sort of rendition for next season at least, anyway. Because if they can keep this team together next season, I think they can get off to a flyer and really, really challenge.
Spend another bill, add another 10.
No,
that's a surprise package.
They don't need to though. That's the thing now. It's like everybody ridiculed them for doing it, but they've got it right. They've got it right.
Cracked it. Like they're still always linked with a striker.
Yeah, true that. But
you know,
I don't think winning games.
That's never going to change with Chelsea.
No, yeah, of course.
The checkbook's always open, but I think, like you guys are alluding to, I mean, as I said, I really love the manager and what he's done, but I think that's the positivity if you're a Chelsea fan, because they don't need to do anything. This can just roll and use the momentum, and they can get better and better and better.
Yeah, and they've got an identity, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got some identity now.
United. Can we start off the pitch, Watto? So, in the summer, right, and throughout, they've got their guys, their execs, their top dogs, and you think, OK, they look like they're putting the foundations in place off the pitch, get the right manager, 2 or 3 windows, they could start to see a real comeback. Ashworth's gone. It's a shambles.
To be fair, like, I thought they'd put all the pieces in place to then get the right manager, and only time will tell on the manager, but they'd put the men in situ behind it to really change a culture. Obviously, since Fergie, obviously Mourinho won a couple of trophies for sure, Ten Hag won the FA Cup, but they've not been anywhere near in terms of the league. I mean, Mourinho really claimed a win, didn't he, when he finished second, because he thought that's how bad they were. And I think Amaron's come in now and he's seen the quality or lack of it for a Man United team. But for Ashworth to be gone after such a short period of time, and obviously him being in charge of the recruitment in that summer, I honestly don't understand what's happened, and I think it does put Man United back on the back foot again.
Even the story behind when they were trying to get him, he was on gardening leave, and it's just a bit of a circus.
It's all dirty.
You know Dan, don't you, Ben?
Yeah, he's great. He's absolutely brilliant. But I think what we've got here is a case of just too many chefs. There's too many people in that high position who are probably very similar characteristics, and they all want to be the main man. They all want to do it themselves. So apparently when it came to the Amarin appointment, Dave Brailsford was the one that went and broke all ranks, went and spoke to Amarin directly. That's Dan Ashworth's job. Dan Ashworth is in charge of recruitment, and when you've got somebody above you going and just basically eliminating you out of it and going straight to the source, then straight away that's not good. It's not good. People should be left to do their own job. And Dan Ashworth's brilliant at his job. He's got a proven track record of doing a fantastic job. But this is just.
And what did you make on? What did you make on the pitch? Obviously, we can't be judging them too much.
I can. I will judge them all day long as well, because this game I could see coming, perfectly honestly, could see it coming from the very start. Martinez just got absolutely bullied for it. It was men against boys. Forest looked to me, on the balance of the whole game, like a team that knew their capabilities and their limitations, and they played to that. And Man United are still stuck in this, thinking they're a bunch of world beaters, Diags getting hit all over the place, thinking they can do stuff that they just can't do as a team. And Forest just went, all right, sweet, we'll just play to what we do and we'll beat you. And that's exactly how it played out. Simple.
Well, yeah, that's
No,
honestly,
look, I mean,
it's like scathing, but like he's given a lot of the players, like you can see every game there's a lot of players coming in and out, and he's kind of feeling his way in, it seems, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, he's feeling his way in, but like we spoke Thursday morning, Arsenal done them on 2 set plays, and I was speaking off air. They get a set piece, Forest, and it's an out-swinging ball, and United are like under 12s players just stood like that on the 6-yard line, 3 of them on the line. It's an out-swinging ball. Yeah. And honestly, if you set up like that, it's like when I was coaching a young team or a youth team, and you've not got much time on the training ground, so you just do a meeting, and you obviously can't show the variables of where you'd like to be exactly. So you've got 3 circles, and they're on the 6-yard line, and you just put somebody's initials in. It looked like that's what they've done. There's no detail with that set piece whatsoever, and ultimately, he's coming to the best league, and teams are going to expose you and expose you. Arsenal did it, irrespective of the game. Arsenal were the better team. This game, Forest arguably had better chances and maybe were the better team. But if you're going to set up so naively on a set piece and go behind after 2 minutes, you're not going to come back too many times in this Premier League.
No, they're really.
And what about the goal, Foz? The Morgan Gibbs White?
Yeah, it's a poor shot, really. It's a poor shot. He's 25 yards out, and he hasn't really absolutely smashed it. It's down the middle of the goal. And don't get me wrong, it was in the middle of Storm Dara, so it's going to be windy on the pitch for sure. But regardless, if you're an Arna, you can't let the ball go in as easy as it went in. He's put all of his weight onto his right foot. He's gone too early, especially when it's windy as well. You know as a goalie that you've got to wait a little bit longer. You've got to stay big, you've got to stay upright and stay mobile, so that if it does do a little bit of movement, you can get down to the other side and move about. And he's just put all his eggs in one basket onto that right foot, and by the time he's done that, it's too late. The ball comes too quickly for him. Can't make it back.
What do you think about the other goal with him, the mix-up with Delight?
Oh, it's phenomenal, isn't it? It's Martinez, isn't it, as well?
Martinez
on the goal line.
Post, yeah.
Just, I don't know how that goes in the back of the net.
I think the keeper should just go right through
the
the
keeper
defender.
has to just go and go through it, basically.
Eliminate
the fact of worrying about Martinez heading it off the line or something. Just take charge and go for it himself. It's just, it can't go in the net.
Is that a keeper's confidence, though? Like, because he wouldn't even think about that. I'd be like, bang, I'm going
in
through him.
In training, you would,
but
in training.
Look, I have him down for the 2 goals. I worked with you for a long time, and I think the game and the technology on the equipment, so the ball is moving 5 to 10 miles an hour quicker
than what it used to do.
That's technology of the ball. But I don't put that down to that. When you're playing goal, if you're going to be at the top of your tree, then it's late and fast on every action.
Yeah.
So, especially if it's windy, it's really tough decision making. But I don't think the wind had too much of that. Yes, the ball moves, but he's got to be late and fast and react late to it and trust in what his actions are. So the first goal, as you said, his weight's on his right. He's gone down too early, but then there's no reaction with his left foot to try and make a save. And on the second goal, for me, he just tracks too far. If the ball's not his on the cross, stop, set, and then you can push left or right. If he would have stopped instead of tracking it, and stopped here, he just takes 1 step to his left and just catches it. But he tracked, so his movement's still going. Then as he's wanting to, and he does nothing. And obviously the defenders didn't help him.
Has he been humbled yet? Because I can't ever forgive him for what he did to Maguire in that pre-season when he signed.
When he absolutely went mad at it.
Yeah, because Maguire was lower than a snake's belly.
That's what I mean.
He lost his captaincy, give away a goal in pre-season, and Anna just ran out to him, berating him. I mean,
why you should never do that as a goalie, even as a player. Don't ever do that because it'll soon come back round, right? It'll come your turn. When quickly, just talking about what Watto said there about late and fast. I love it. Late and fast is exactly what you need to be as a goalie for every action that you do as well. Whether it's coming for a cross, wait, bang, last second, boom. So this shot, for example, there, wait. There's a fine line. There's a real fine line between going too late or too early. You have to judge it just perfect because you know the ball can move. You know it might take a little deflection. You've got to wait as long as you can, and it's inbuilt in you as a goalie to know when that moment is. Wait, boom, and then I have to go here. I have to commit. I have to just stop the ball going in the back of the net, and he hasn't done it. He's gone too early. It's poor. It is very poor.
Do you think, Toes, did you see any kind of green shoots for United? I'm kind of trying to pick out some positive bones here.
I mean, Diallo's always been very good. Bit of a live wire. Diallo, He's been very good, very confident. Yeah. I think Bruno Fernandes, for me, he's their best player, but it almost doesn't work for him at Man United. It's like, I don't know, he's on a different page.
First half he was very good, but second half he gave the ball away sloppy a few times.
You don't mind that, and his reaction was good. He lost the ball, and his reaction was good. He sprinted straight back, which I think, normally he's an arm thrower, which he loves. So, yeah, I'd say Diallo is probably the only real positive.
Højlund 3-3.
Yeah,
you're looking at small things for him, aren't you? We've said it before, they've been so bad in the recruitment over the windows. This is going to take a long, long time for him to sort this team out. Obviously, it's a new system in playing three at the back. You'll have played it in the past. I don't know so much you feel it's 4-4-2, but normally with a three at the back, obviously you look to get out one side, but there's always a diagonal on, and if you do it properly, that diagonal gets you a 1v1, or if you're doing it in a slow build-up, you try and get your numbers there so you've got an overload on the diagonal. So, but these are all things that it's going to take time for these lads because they're probably not used to the nuances of that technique. But ultimately, I look at that game. And Forest, what a better coach team, what a better drilled team. Yes, he's had a short period of time. But the Man United players are ultimately not good enough. And where they are in the league, 13th, they're going to struggle to get top 10 because I think the other teams might not have the individual talent, but the better teams.
Yeah, they're too easy to beat, Man United are. They're too easy to beat. Simple as that. That's the best way of saying it, isn't it?
What about onto City then? So I think is that 1 win in 9? Is that? I'm not sure if that's all competitions.
That's bonkers.
I think it's across.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
it's absolutely
1 win in 9.
I would love to get in the head of a Palace player, for example. I'd love to get in the head of a Palace player and ask them what they felt before this game against Man City. Because normally when you're playing Man City, you're fearing the worst. You're really, really worried. And I don't know if they still carry that fear anymore. I just worry that it's dissipating a little bit. We're so used to Man City being the dominant force and absolutely running all over team. This game 5 years ago was a given, yeah? You know this is going to be 3-0. You know it. It's the way that it goes. And now they're coming to away stadiums and really, really struggling. They're even struggling at home as well. Fair play to Crystal Palace, though. They've a great win in the week against Ipswich and they will have a little bit of confidence, but this is a huge point for them. Massive point for them.
Are they out of the title race?
Probably, yes. I said this a couple of weeks ago and I said probably not, but I think they probably are because it's gone on for so long.
I think, what's the difference?
Normally you'd say, no, they're not out of the title race, but I don't see them turning.
Yeah, I can't see them turning it. I really can't.
8 points.
It's
Liverpool's got a game in hand.
Yeah, so it's
potentially 11 points. Is that too much, Watto?
I think it's too much because even irrespective of the game in hand, 8 points, that means they've got to go and win 3 City. And we
but one of them is against Liverpool. So,
and we always thought they were capable. I'm not sure now. Yeah. And you make the point. I think every team feels as though you're going to get a chance against them.
Today,
you can overrun them in midfield and the defence is not quite as it used to be because that's the thing. It's the amount of chances and goals. I saw a stat up that they've conceded the second most big chances against them in the league. Only Southampton above them, sorry. So if you're creating massive chances against City with the quality of players in the Premier League, they're going to score goals. Obviously, he's changed the goalie. I thought he was quite poor for the first goal in this game, Ortega, and that didn't seem great when he made that choice for the Liverpool game. And ultimately, Ortega probably is a number 2.
Yeah.
Edison's out the picture. And I just think there's something not quite right with them. They've still got phenomenal talent, but this league and this result epitomises it. Because Palace, yes, they had a good result at Ipswich, but they've not been on great form at home where normally they are strong. I think they've only won 1 at home. So that's a game, like you said, City would have normally And
Steamrolled.
it weren't that way. And Palace had the chances.
Toes, what about Kyle Walker? So you had a few questions defensively.
Yeah, I mean, it made me laugh because everyone for England over the summer and before that have always said, like, Kyle Walker, put him in centre-half, put him in centre-half. He's got the pace, he's got the cover. But I just think that's so ignorant. It's like almost laughable that you think, Kyle Walker, if you take away his pace, don't get me wrong, incredible player, take away his pace, he doesn't sense things defensively. He doesn't know, his positioning's never been great. His pace has always got him out of that. So, out of trouble. So, I think to say you can just go and play centre-half is very, very ignorant. And look at the goal, for example, he gets done on the goal.
Yeah.
I just think it winds me up, actually.
Yeah.
It winds me up, people saying, just put him in centre-half, he'll do a job.
Yeah, he was playing him on side. He was playing, I think it was Lacroix, wasn't it, or whoever was on side for the goal. And then the header from the corner, it's his man. It's not his original man, but he's the one that gets passed on to, and he just lets him go. Simple as that.
Rather than we're not just going to have a Debbie Downer on City. We're going to have a little bit of big up the Palace boys. Your old mate Will Hughes has got in the team. He's mustard, isn't he, Ben?
He's mustard, mate. He's a little creature, but he's mustard. He's so good, honestly. He is. He's brilliant. It suits him down to the ground. He looks like he's had a nice little run in the team now, and he's found his feet. And Will Hughes has got quality. He's always had quality. If you give him time on the ball, because he hasn't got fantastic legs, he ain't going to be able to sprint around the pitch. But when he's on the ball, the quality he's got is fantastic.
That through ball.
That through ball is a thing of beauty. Absolute thing of beauty.
2 assists.
The Rico Lewis with Pep, quickly. When he said at the end of the game, Pep, he said, "That's Rico Lewis." What does he mean, lads?
It's waffle.
It's waffle. He didn't answer the question. I mean, nobody could compute what he'd said.
It's horrible,
and even post the interview, I think...
What do you make of it? What do you think is...
I just think it's absolute nonsense.
Do you think he's saying they've given him a rep because it's Rico?
That's what I understand it to be.
But he didn't want to say that because he'll get done and...
Yeah, but he's just not answered the question. And I think it's quite arrogant in terms of spouting that kind of stuff.
Do you think it might... I don't know. I don't know what... It could be completely wrong, but I almost thought he might be saying it's Rico Lewis, as in, that's just Rico for you. Like, he's so honest. Like, the yellow card, the second yellow card, is because he's lost the ball, he's chasing, he's ratting, and he just ends up catching him. And I thought maybe he's saying it because it's just Rico Lewis. He's so honest and he's so...
Yeah, I think that might be...
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
don't know.
No, I agree with you, but he just doesn't, at the moment, he can't seem to articulate what he wants to articulate.
So you think he's calling him out a little bit by saying he's a bit naive and...
No, I think he's saying he's an honest lad.
I think he's maybe saying that's just Rico for
How frustrating is that, though? Because it isn't a foul. It's actually a foul on him.
Yeah, I know.
We were talking beforehand, weren't we? And I think Jay said about VAR and you go, it's a yellow card and we've got this technology.
Clear and obvious.
Well, but you can't. It's a yellow card. You start doing that, the game's going to be even worse, isn't it?
Well, offsides take 3 minutes.
We're going to be robots if we need VAR for yellow cards and that, and the game will become...
But that can't be rescinded either, can it?
No, yellow cards...
That's frustrating, isn't it?
Really, really frustrating. Team with the best home form in the league, in the world, right now.
What was it? Brentford, I think they're 4 points clear of anybody in terms of their home form, and they've got 1 point away from home. Fozzie, did you see the interview with Thomas Frank? And you've got to love the honesty. What's going on? Why are you better at home?
I don't know. Can't help you.
Yeah.
So do a German accent with it.
Go on.
He's not German, is he? He is German, isn't he?
No, he's Austrian.
It's in the quiz. It's in the quiz.
Danish? What is he?
Actually, yeah.
Oh, Danish. He is Danish.
Sorry.
Well done, yeah.
Well done.
Likes his bacon.
Don't know. Don't know.
Right, listen, we're going to have to save this show right now.
I don't know. Oh, sorry, everyone. Sorry, Thomas. I'm sorry. I would love to know, though. It's a mentality thing. Again, it is a mentality thing. It's so easy to label it as a mentality thing, but when you get into this mode of you win every game at home, you feel invincible when you take to that pitch. When you take to your home stadium with your home fan, you just feel like you'll get over the line, and then you go away and you're just like, well, we're just going to lose again today, aren't we? And subconsciously it just seeps in and then it takes over. It's the way it goes.
I mean, Brentford, looking at Brentford, right, so they're like up front. They've got to have one of the best set of strikers in the Premier League.
The Umbremo goal, lads. The Umbremo goal. To start the game off, the ball into him, his touch was phenomenal. Yeah. Opened it up, beautiful, always in control. He didn't smash it in, does he? He doesn't smash it in, he puts it in. And everything about the goal, I was thinking, you are a player fully in control of all of your faculties. All of your faculties right now.
Salah-esque, wasn't it?
It was beautiful, wasn't it?
But
really,
also
really
defensive point of view, I see a lot of goals now where wingers get allowed to cut inside all the time.
Onto their dominant foot.
Yeah, you've got Mbeumo, you've got Kulusevski yesterday, you've got, what was the other goal we talked? Sancho.
Yeah.
They're all being allowed to come inside on their strong foot. I mean, they're hard to defend because they're so sharp, but... that level.
You can't do it, can you?
Keepers, for you, it must be frustrating as keepers because you're basically opening the whole goal up front.
Yeah,
whereas when they go down the line, it's kind of, you don't get done at your near post. It's got to be a great goal like Jimenez in the far corner to beat you. So that must be...
Mate, when they're 20... honestly, it's probably worse from 25 yards as well, or 30 yards, because you've still got that bank of four in front of you as well. And so you can't really see it. You're trying to look round people. You can take deflections, and that's what makes it even harder. When they're at an angle and it's just you and that player, you can back yourself. You know you're in the right position. You're not trying to look round or second-guess somebody. It's so hard. It is really, really hard.
And what about up front? 18 goals between Mbeumo and Wissa. Shada's got a hat-trick a couple of games ago, scored again today. 30 million quid odd signing, Thiago coming back. They're stacked up front.
Phenomenal. But we've spoke about Man United's recruitment. Look at their recruitment and what they've got. Obviously, he's come back from injury now. 30 million quid. I mean, massive money for
Brentford. Oof.
But, they were prepared to let Tony go. These two lads, Mbeumo and Wissa, oh, my God. And it's proper football. And you'd love them in your team. And we spoke about why they can't take that away from home. But they scored away from home the same. Yeah. It's just that I don't know why they're just a little bit more open away from home. Maybe because I think post the game he had said they'd changed it up a bit. They'd wanted to be a bit more dominant and not necessarily always sit in a mid or low block and accept your fate. So they've gone for it a little bit, which has opened them up. But I mean, if you're a Brentford fan or any fan of football, you'd want to go and watch a game at the GTEC because the goals is incredible.
If you were looking to buy a couple of forward players that are really going to improve your team and both slot straight in, right? Would it be feasible to go, let's go and get Mbeumo and Wissa, both of them from Brentford, and play them in that position in our team?
What would that cost though? That's the thing now.
You ain't getting them for...
They're both of a good age as well.
And what would they have cost them? But going back to that recruitment, Brentford have got an idea and they know who they want to sign and they've got a position and they go out and they're not worried about signing an Mbeumo who no one really knew before he signed him. Whereas you look at like a Man United, if a player becomes available, like a Casemiro or whatever, they feel, we've got to get him. Yeah. Is he the right player at the right time? I don't know.
It's just shiny. It's just shiny things.
Let's go get him. I'll tell you what, we'll give him 8 times the amount of wages that Mbeumo's going to get and he'll be less effective than Mbeumo.
How much would they cost?
Mate, as a package, 50. Right, I'll do your deal for 120 mil. I'll do your deal for 120 mil, all right?
Do you know what? That's exactly...
Would you sell 60 million each?
60 mil each, yeah. Boom. I think Brentford will be interested in that as well.
I don't think you were getting them less for 100, that's for sure.
For sure. But the good thing about them is they're exactly the sort of players you want in your team. Like, good lads, honest, work really hard, just get on with it. You don't ever hear any kind of anything that goes on with them, do you?
So
other than what you see on the pitch.
Just in everything they
exactly
do,
that.
And what about Newcastle toes? What do you make of it?
Shearer went in a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, what do you think? I mean, Eddie Howe, do you think he might have possibly taken him as far as he can? And the thing as well, his arms are tied because his hands are tied because they've also said now that they've got to sell in January. Apparently, they've got to sell before they can buy. And you think, how frustrating is that for Howe? Because he's come in, he's done such a good job, and he can't carry it on. Yeah, I know. He's now got to stop. It's plateaued, hasn't it?
The last year or so has really stalled.
What we were talking off camera, weren't we, about Thomas Frank? No, was it Thomas Frank?
Yeah, Thomas Frank.
And saying would you go to Newcastle if you were him? And I'm not saying that he would, but if you went to a Newcastle, for example, what's the expectation? Because my opinion is that from the top 2 down to 12th, 13th in the league, the standard of the Premier League is getting better and better and better.
Well, it's tough to be a Newcastle manager, isn't it? Like, he got them in the Champions League and then they had a big drop-off. This year, obviously, they're not doing what they need to do. They're 12th in the league and that's not good enough for the investment, but yet he's potentially going to lose players rather than recruit players. And ultimately, the holy grail for Newcastle, they've not won anything for, 60 years now? It's so tough, to even be mentioned in winning the Premier League.
Won the Championship.
Don't count.
Twice.
What are they, Motto? Where should, let's say, Newcastle have a really good year, where should they be finishing?
Europe. They need to get in Europe.
They need to be top 7.
Not Champions League, though?
No, they need to be top 7, For the team... the fans, St James's, it's incredible what it is up there.
They're the richest football club in the world. They can't spend any money.
They must feel so aggrieved because Chelsea, City, they've done it. What Chelsea spent 1.2 billion again recently, but before when Abramovich came in, they were allowed to just spend what they want.
What's the point in having all of this resource and not being able to actually spend it? It's surely in the future just going to detract from any potential investors coming in and buying Premier League teams and trying to improve it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, mate, but we've seen you've got to look at the sustainability of the game, and we've had some shit show owners in the Premier League, haven't we?
You're talking about a state here. They've got money for days.
I'm not
they
saying they're not.
Yeah, but then that's down to the
past,
FA
what's
and
been happening.
vetting the owners and making sure that they can't just pull it out and leave the
You can't
staff
just let it go free run. And
I get that, but then you shouldn't be able to have it exactly the way that it is as well now, where they've got to sell players to be able to buy in. Like, that can't be right either. Come on.
No, it doesn't seem right.
But I think Newcastle,
especially if City get off their charges, by the way,
they're on a real cusp of where it goes now for them.
Yeah,
but with the current manager,
I agree with what Shearer said though a bit. To be perfectly honest with you, I think Newcastle against the bigger boys, they really turn up. They really give it a good go. We reeled off the teams that they've beaten already this season and drawn against. It's all the big boys. All the big boys, they've got the points. And then when they're coming up against your Brentfords and similar sort of teams, they're really not putting the same sort of intensity and effort in.
That's their mentality, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And what about Rude the Dude? Come back there.
It's a doddle, isn't it? I told you last week.
I mean, we were talking just before the show. Brighton should have been up home and hosed.
Yeah, well, we had a £5 bet Thursday, and I thought, money's in the bag, safe as houses. And from nowhere, like, Leicester come back. But we were speaking that Rude's obviously been in 1 week now, and you're not going to do a lot in a 3-game week in terms of that. But what he has done is he's had meetings and he's tried to set a precedence and a culture on and off the field. And ultimately, he's created something there, because that would have been finished if it were a boxing match. That's how dominant Brighton were in the game. But the game's 90-plus minutes. And they get that one at 87, and then the momentum and everything changes with it, and somehow they got over the line with Vardy being Vardy. He scores his goal, but yet the pass and not to shoot is
We've talked about this already this season, haven't we?
It was Ayew, wasn't it? The one where he cut back for Ayew.
He's getting his fair share of goals, but he is so experienced, isn't he, Toes? And so he just makes the right decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you could just tell as well he's hungry. He just still seems so hungry, which is incredible at his age.
I've got a stat for you, lads.
Go on.
Listen to this. This is the one I was going to tell us. I was going to tell you it earlier on, but it's phenomenal, right? Jamie Vardy this season has scored 6 goals, right? He's only had 9 shots on target this season.
66.
6 goals from 9 shots.
It's not bad, that, is it?
Phenomenal, lads.
Hey, and that finish in that game.
I ain't had a shot yet, and I ain't scored, so...
But that finish on his left foot on a volley at that point, calm, composed.
It's the calmness of it, yeah.
Punched it back in.
That is years and years and years of experience of doing it and playing it and being in that moment and the pressure and the expectation. And
concentration,
don't snatch, don't react, just place it in the corner.
But I think that's the one, isn't it, when he sets up the Cover Reed for the equaliser, because he's in on his left foot again, and he knows really there's a defender going to block. The goalie's in a good boom.
Yeah.
And that's the killer in it. Yeah. Not wanting the glory himself, because if they could come out with a point, which what they do in the end, it's an unbelievable result. So he's had 2 home games, 4 points, and they're thinking, we're on the road.
I'm impressed with Ruud van Nistelrooy. From even just his short tenure at United and coming in and post-match talking about the culture and... From what he says, you kind of think, this guy's really impressive. And I know they were chasing the game, but 93rd, 94th minute, they are pressing, the energy, it's fantastic.
Do you know what I liked? During that game, and I watched a bit of it, that obviously, as every team, and we'll come on to Southampton later, keep playing. And actually, Brighton was set up as a good pressing team. And do you know what? I said him go to the goalie, onto somebody's chest.
Yeah.
Forget keep inviting all this pressure. Let's go up there and let's go and play. So even in game, what we spoke about, and seeing something and not doing something different, he's set his team up on the match day -1 to play and whatever. But if it's not happening because the other team are so front-footed and so good on the press, let's miss the press, play into our front, and let's see what we can have. And just to have that mentality as a manager, because he's changing the culture, say, this is what we're doing.
They're my team for the second half of the season. I said it, Leicester. Me and Watto had a bet. I think they'll finish top 12.
I think you're getting mad carried away.
Double down?
Battered.
Yeah, I'll double it. I'll double
Battered.
10 now. 10 now.
Battered for 87 minutes. And then they've snuck a 2-2 draw, and you think they're going to win the Premier League this season.
No,
it ain't
top
happening.
12.
It is
top
not
12.
happening. He's got away with one here, Rudaz, massively. Brighton will be kicking themselves, though, absolutely kicking themselves, because they've dropped points in the last 3 games. Southampton, Fulham, and now Leicester. And if they would have took 3 points from each of those games, they'd have been joint second with Chelsea.
Again, I liked Hertzler's interview after the game as well, because he's kind of, it would be very easy for him to kind of toe the line, but he said, no, it's not good enough. Everyone keeps talking about performances, but we need to win the game. We didn't see it out. We've got to be better.
To be fair, Brighton have done that to a few teams this season where they've stunk a 94th minute goal and won it and took all 3 points and stuff. So it kind of swings and roundabouts a little bit, but they'll be absolutely fuming.
And then Fozzie Ipswich, mate, they are...
Mate, this is all about...
doomed,
it's all about big moments. Football is all about big moments, big goals at big moments. And Ipswich winning 1-0 in the 87th minute. Big Muric, the Ipswich goalie. Oh, you can't get involved there, mate. You can't come out. You can't expose yourself like that. And the fact that he's done that, they go and score, get the equaliser, and then Bournemouth are just on the front foot. The nerves settle in to Ipswich. The crowd sense it. Everybody feels it. The Bournemouth away fans are getting, oh my God, we've been losing this game for 87th minute, and now all of a sudden we're back in it. And that's where the game changes, and that's what it comes down to. Big moments, big goals, just completely.
Do you think it's just because he's obviously a good coach, Watto McKenna? Do you think it's just a bit of game, a bit of naivety, and not having experienced lads in there?
I think it really is naive, but ultimately Muric makes a shocking decision. He makes every Bournemouth player decision for him easy because he's come out, simple cross, 2v1 at the back post, and it gets bobbled in there. But ultimately, it's the pressure building. Look, Bournemouth were the better team in the game, had the better chances, but Ipswich are winning 1-0 in the 87th minute. If you're going to have any chance of staying in that league, they had to win that game 1-0. And that's the bit where the goalie makes a rash decision, and you rightly say, we've all been there. At the moment that goes in, you want the ref to blow for 1-1 because you're fearing and you know potentially what's coming. And the actual winning goal is brilliant. Good play, serviced it round the box. Billing, just come on a sub, makes an amazing run around him. As he plays the little reverse, takes 3 Ipswich players out of the game, and then they've got an overload at the back post. The goalie gets a bit unlucky to save the first one, but there's 2 guys there to poke it in.
Again, they're another one. They've got quality coming off the bench, but Semenyo's the boy, isn't he, Toes?
Yeah.
So I didn't realise he had a loan, so you played against him?
Against him, yeah. He was on loan from Bristol City to Newport when I was at Cheltenham, and we played against him, and I thought, wow. And I knew a few lads that were at Newport, and they said about how good a player he was. I mean, left foot, right foot. He was an out-and-out striker then as well, but a big boy, and you thought, at the age of 18, I think he was, to have been throwing himself around and playing the way that he was playing. I think he may have even got recalled by Bristol City, but I think as a player that can go...
Bristol City?
I don't know. Wouldn't have been...
He looks the bollocks.
But I think that's
both foot as well, like comfortable going
to
on
Bristol
both feet.
City for sending him on the loan to make him at that point, then come back and do your bit there. It's real good foresight in terms of a pathway for him, because obviously some players you send out to, whether it's a National League team or a lower league team like a Newport, culture and everything's still miles different from Bristol City, but you know the lads that can handle it, and when they can play and get some experience in men's football, and
also for the player to do that as well, because a lot of players would turn their nose up at going to League Two, for example, and they'd be like, the facilities, the pitches, now I'm better than that. I think they're better than that. They've got to go and earn their stripes. I mean, I played with Ben White, for example, as well at Newport, and it was exactly the same. Brighton sent him out on loan, said he was maybe a bit soft, go and have a season of men's football as such, and I mean, it makes a massive difference. Eze as well went on loan to Wycombe in League Two, did the same thing, had to become a man overnight pretty much, and it's working, yeah.
God, bloody right, yes.
10 mil.
10 mil...
Semenyo.
To Bournemouth.
From Bristol City.
10 mil.
Well, that now is they'll get
quadrupled, isn't it?
At least 70,
50, 60.
Yeah, 50, 60, 70.
Not bad, is it? It's a shame.
But ultimately, what's the next step for Ipswich? I mean, surely they're just dead and buried.
They can't. They're given. There's so many times already this season we've said about Ipswich just giving the game away or losing it or conceding something silly, sloppy, trying to play out from the back. that gets you relegated. It does. It's
And
unfair. It takes the wind out yourself so bad.
And they're not getting, like we've said it all season, but they're not getting battered.
No.
That's the thing.
But how many late goals are they conceding?
Yeah, exactly.
And like you say there, that's lost them the game because they've conceded that goal and the fans are going, oh, no, not again.
Yeah.
And they sense it in the crowd.
It's
in the crowd, the anxiety comes,
Yeah.
the players start thinking, oh, the crowd are on it. Like, it just seeps onto the players.
As the comments would say, Corner FC were playing at Craven Cottage.
Yeah.
Set piece again, ole, wasn't it?
Is this drop points for Arsenal? Is it drop points? It's a tough place to go, Fulham, isn't it, in fairness? But Arsenal would have wanted to get 3 points. And when I saw they'd equalised, I was driving around Birmingham. Louis had football. It was so cold, by the way, lads. It was horrible, windy still, even yesterday. But William Saliba, I went, guaranteed that's another set piece. And yes, it was another set piece. And it wasn't a brilliant set piece. It wasn't a work of art. It was a run-and-mill, ball to the back post.
It wasn't a brilliant game.
Yeah. It's doddle, isn't it?
But I do think, maybe I'm a little bit biased here, but I do think Arsenal should have won the game.
Yeah.
Jimenez was the only shot they had until maybe I think it might have been their only shot on target all game. I can't think, but
I think they had two.
Oh, did they have two?
I think they had two
shots, yeah. But I mean, Saka, the goal at the end, it's criminal for Martinelli to be offside. How criminal is that? I mean, not a winger or anything, but looking across the line, it's one of the oldest first things you're taught in football. Don't be offside when you can see all the way across the line. I don't know, you wanted to say about Partey and his...
Why have you got a bee in your bonnet about Thomas Partey having...
I don't know.
Thomas on his back?
Maybe because I'm old and 40, but like, I noticed during the game, I don't know how long he's had it, but he's got Thomas on the back of his shirt.
Well, how do you think that makes me feel? I'm old and fucking 50.
But also, that's the least of his concern. He should be...
I'm more concerned about him nodding it wide on a set piece,
I said that to Toes. I was like, why has he got Thomas? He goes, yeah. And he needs to be more concerned about scoring sitters.
What
That's
other players?
two sitters he's
Didn't
missed.
Dele Alli do that? Didn't
Dele.
he change it? He changed it from...
Parent reasons, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had Ali and then changed it to Dele.
I don't know why.
There'll be a few
It's
of
a
them.
thing like nowadays, but anyway.
Maybe he wants a new profile. He's going down that route.
Yeah. Watto, Raul Jimenez, mate. What a run. What a move.
I thought, obviously, for not having much in the game in terms of chances, for him, who's not really been that prolific for a Fulham, but he's got a decent return this season. The run is unbelievable. But Toes says, to be fair, if it was Saliba and Gabriel, he's not scoring that goal.
No chance.
Because they're too good. And obviously, Partey played at right back, didn't he? They're changing the centre halves again. So it gives team a chance. And ultimately, you have to say it is drop points because Liverpool have been so good this season. Chelsea...
Liverpool go there and win, don't they?
Yeah.
Chelsea go there and win.
Yeah.
I think so too. But that's been a little bit disrespectful to Fulham. But Fulham, on the day, will be disappointed that they don't win it 1-0 because of the set-piece action again.
If you actually watch the replay of the set piece, it's so easy for Arsenal. It's so easy. Like, don't get me wrong, Declan Rice can swing a very good ball in. But it's not groundbreaking. It's not drilled. It's not absolutely like shelled out there. It's a big floating ball to the back post, and by the time the lad makes the header, Havertz, there is 4 or 5 Arsenal players behind all of the Fulham players. Like, this zonal marking that teams are doing from set pieces, just go semi-zonal, right? Have your little spots, but then go man for man on the big ones. Get the big one against the big one. Go, that's your man. Boom. Do not let him... You can't have 4 or 5 players behind every one of your players when that ball is coming in.
We keep saying it every week, though, whether it's Southampton playing from the back or Spurs playing one way. There seems to be too many managers that seem inflexible, Watto.
Yeah, it's really surprising to me on this set-piece stuff for Arsenal.
He's a good manager, though. Surely that's a player thing. It has to be.
But, well, the thing is, mate, it's the setup, isn't it? I think they had 6 zones. So if you've got 6 zones, you have to have one out short 7, one on the edge of the box 8. Your goal is 9, so you only got 2 markers. Yeah. So they'd have 6 in the box because you're inviting pressure because of the zonal setup. Now, when I used to do it, I didn't mark in the 6-yard box, so it gives you the scope for the deep ones for sure. But that first man there, when that ball's big and over my head, if he would have fucking not got to that 6-yard line, so he's offside, I'd have nipped his bollocks off. So that's the reality.
You go one way or the other, don't you? You either say, defender, get up, and he's offside, which obviously would have happened. Or, if Havertz's header was better and the ball goes over his head, drop onto the post. If Havertz's header's on target, he clears it off the line.
Yeah.
So...
And they did nothing of it.
Neither of them. They were in between.
Stuck in between. Like, we spoke about it for Man U going in. What's the thing in the game against Arsenal? Arsenal are a brilliant football team, but they've got a few missing. So we might be able to go toe-to-toe with them, but we're not going to give them a goal on a set play again.
Surely, right, we're getting to the point now when we're playing Arsenal, yeah, that we have to learn what their signals are as well, right? So when Declan Rice is about to take that corner, he will do a signal.
No, they speak to him, don't they? Like, it's almost like they pass the message on to Odegaard. Odegaard goes out and speaks to him. It's almost like the nearest player, like they speak to him.
Somebody then has to, right, watch that. Somebody has to be aware of...
It's as basic as it's either front post or back post.
It's not rocket science, is it?
Bang,
yeah, it's one or two, 50-50, right? So get an inkling of what's going on. Look at somebody's lips, read a bit of body language or something. Just try and read something and go, right, lads, they're going front post here. But I
want to make you laugh here. So Brentford have always done it, and they have colours, but they know what their colours represent. But Ethan played Leicester City girls last week, and every time they got a corner, the coach shouted, "Wiggle," and they played a short corner. The guy makes a run from the front. So, like I said, surely somebody's got to pick up this wiggle, and it's a short corner against them. But they kept doing it and kept doing what they did. So, at every level, people are getting all these people signals.
Defending teams, generally, a lot of players switch off, don't they? I don't know if you saw in the Tottenham game yesterday as well. There was one where they took a short corner right near the end and they nearly scored from it, and Son is still facing the player he's meant to be marking. He had no idea that the corner had been taken, and they'd nearly put the ball in the back of the net.
Amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. It's like they do. It's amazing to watch how players just switch off sometimes.
Fozzie, I just want to talk about the intensity of the Premier League. So Marco Silva's come out post-match, and bear in mind, they've played 3 games in 8 days.
Yeah.
They've actually got 5 points from those 3 games. And he said the lads are tired. 3 games, 8 days, going into a busy period. Is modern day football, the intensity, a bit much for the schedule?
No, it's always the way. Every single year it comes round.
But what I'm saying is, the years are getting on, the game's getting faster, players are getting quicker. Do you think they should just be sucking it up? Or
I know, like, people with normal jobs and stuff, they say, like, it's just a 90 minutes, it's 90 minutes. It's their bodies are going through it. And not only, like, physically, but, like, mentally, psychologically, emotionally, everything. It's such hard work. The demands for them must be so high, because the percentages are so small as well. So, like, not only that, but they're training every day and they are at it. And their bodies, believe me, bodies are battered. You must...
Nobody plays a game full 100%. Nobody. Not even probably 80%, do you? You're not playing... And when the fixtures come thick and fast, then that's only going to diminish, which is going to lower the quality of the football. So what you see on your television or on the pitch in front of you is not at the level of what it should be, really. And they can change it a little bit as well. They can... Like, over Christmas, particularly, you just want to see games on the telly, don't you? I want to watch so many games. I'm going to go to a couple with my son, but I still want to see games on the telly. So what you can do is go 2 games a day, 2 televised games a day over Christmas. You could do one at sort of like 2 in the afternoon or something, one at 6 at night or whatever, and you could just stagger them out like that. That way, each team could get, theoretically, 5 days in between each game. It's a better chance to get around.
I want to see the old school Boxing Day, full fixture list, get the acca on. But like, I think the counter to it is the money in the game now, and there's 5 subs, and they have big squads. They should be using their squads.
Well, that's what we spoke about Chelsea in the week, didn't we? So many changes at Southampton, and then merited with a win.
Absolutely ran over Spurs.
And then the run over Spurs. So that model, what we talked about, where they might have it right now in terms of recruitment and having the big groups, if the manager gets the culture right and sets the precedent, and he's going to rotate, obviously he's got a different squad in Europe, but in this busy... This is the first round of Premier League fixtures midweek. It always comes the first week in December. And we know the intensity. I was speaking off air what the intensity levels will be like in Champions League, UEFA League, Conference League and all that stuff, just to see the difference. But we know the level of the Premier League, and I don't think people appreciate the energy levels and the depletion of the energy stores, especially when there's so much in that short space of time. So you are diluting it slightly, and that's why a Chelsea model now probably looks as though it's the right thing. But how many managers, when you've got a winning team, don't want to change?
Look at Arteta. But going back to that about Europe, I think that's where Liverpool have been so good. They've won every game. I think they've only got to draw 1 game to get to qualify.
Then they can start resting.
Yeah, they can rest. They've got 2 games there, but they can just rest them, and they're like almost ahead of the curve. And Chelsea, like you say, different squad and stuff. I think that favours them.
Quiz in a minute, but first, Villa.
Are Villa back, Fozzie? Are they kind of...
It was Villa were the better team. It was kind of handed to them again. Southampton, the goal that they concede, Joe Lumley, can't come and get involved there. He's made it way too easy for John Duran to put the ball in the back of the net.
So what, he should have stayed on his line, or he should have...
Without doubt. Let your defenders deal with that in front of you. The defenders, when they're going to challenge Duran there, will see Joe Lumley coming out of his goal and go, no, please, just stay back, please. We've got it. We can try and put him up a little bit of lead. But as soon as Lumley comes out there, it makes Duran's mind up, and it's a very easy finish for him. It doesn't affect him one little bit, to be honest with you. They got a warning just before that as well, to be fair. Lumley trying to play the ball out from the back. Again, Southampton dying by their sword as per usual, trying to play the ball out the back, and nearly got caught but got away with it, but then got punished for the Duran goal.
Even for the goal, though, Foz, the defending was a little bit lightweight, wasn't it?
A little bit lightweight, but again, if defenders can get across and really affect Duran, they can and they will. They'll get a chance to do it. But Duran knew everything that was going on. He was very aware of the defenders coming from that side, one from that side, and the goalie's coming out. You ain't got to worry about the defenders. Just get the shot off early doors. As long as it's on target, it's going
Middle
in.
of the goal, isn't it?
Middle of the goal, it's going in.
I saw a nuts stat. I think I'll probably be corrected in the comments, but I think that was his 50th Premier League game, and I think he's made 4 starts.
Yeah, he's not started so many. He's certainly turned into the super sub, hasn't he? But
Go on, do the percentages on that quickly. Anybody?
Is that 4 starts?
9%, is it?
8%. Come on.
8%.
4 starts out of 50. Do the
Sorry.
That was easy.
I hope you're going to be as good at the quiz, mate. But look, Southampton will try and take something from it, won't they? It's a 1-0 defeat away from home. But this is just the way it's running for them. They probably think, we've done all right. But it's another 3 points gone. Villa, 2 home wins in a week, puts them back on track. They're 6th. Southampton are 20th. I think they're 8 points now from safety. They're only on 5 points. How can they ever get anywhere near it to get some momentum?
Do you think that's where now Russell Martin's almost like using the club to his advantage?
Yes.
So if he goes and changes the way that he plays, that kills him in the future being this all.
We spoke about this for the last 2 or 3 games.
Oh, really?
Mate,
yeah. So then he's almost killing the club by doing that. But then, just one thing I wanted to touch on as well was Watkins came on. He looked a little bit low on confidence, I thought.
Yeah?
Yeah, I thought with a couple of his chances, I thought it could have... Normally that
if
would
he was clinical.
They had so many overloads in that last 10-15.
He's almost...
They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he never made the right decision, did he?
No.
He didn't.
And that was the thing. He looked on edge. I agree with you. He didn't look that
He wanted to be
composed.
selfish, but I don't know if that would have been... He would have done it more convincingly in the past, I think. Not, Just
All right, love it, lads. Quiz time. Before we do go to quiz time, though, can I say one thing about percentages? Did you know that percentages are reversible?
Oh, yeah.
How good is this? Did you know this?
Yeah.
So, for example,
I wasn't very good at maths, mate.
10% of 70, is the same as 70% of 10.
Okay, thanks for that.
That's how it works. But they never taught us this at school.
Are you impressed?
So simple, isn't it?
No,
They never taught us this at school.
well, did you go to school?
Oh, dickhead. You dickhead, mate.
Anyway, what I'd like to say is, big game tonight, West Ham, Wolves. Potential management change post-game, but I think we should give a little bit of love to Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody saw the horrific images of his car crashed. We just hope that he's all right, to be perfectly honest with you. It was a horrible picture, and we all feared the worst. But apparently he's had an operation on his lower leg, and that's all we know now. But yeah, get well soon, mate. We hope you're back and kicking soon as possible. Should we do a quiz, lads?
Boom.
Let go! Last week I asked you whether you would want to see a weekly quiz or like a monthly quiz or something like that. We're still going to keep the quiz at the end of the show, yeah? The Football Film will always have the quiz at the end of the show, guaranteed, right? 10 questions, guaranteed. But what we were saying is, should we do a weekly or monthly, 20-question quiz?
Or quarterly, but it's really big. We do it in a neutral venue, loads of Jamie's wicked rounds.
Is it worth more points?
One every 12 weeks.
And double points for whoever's at the bottom of the leaderboard.
It should be worth
4
5
teams
points.
of 2 or something
Why
like that.
are you trying to steal my thunder and say it with
trying to get you on top here,
and stuff like that? Anyway, let us know in the comments down below what you want to see, all right?
Yeah.
We just love the quiz. I just love the quiz. Everybody loves the quiz.
Are you doing a Christmas quiz for your family at Christmas?
We do quizzes all the time anyway. It's not football quiz, it's general knowledge quiz. We
Yeah.
love a general
Struggling
knowledge
for that
quiz.
then, aren't you?
Mate, I'm a winner all the time.
If it's maths percentages,
Do you know what? My daughter's so good at general knowledge quizzes. Phenomenal, in fact. Yeah.
Like it. Well done, Liv.
Phenomenal.
does she take after you then? Or
Definitely not. Definitely not from me.
Right.
Yeah. But we do have a Christmas quiz coming, don't we?
Yes, we
Monday.
do. We do. We're filming a Christmas quiz.
And when's it out,
Monday.
Jay?
It is out on the 24th.
No, Boxing Day, surely.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. Boxing Day.
Is that what today is? All the
Do you know what day
decorations?
Do you know what day Christmas Day?
Right, look at
25th,
that
isn't it?
I think so, mate. The big man comes on Christmas Day.
Better than no tree.
I got sold the dream on Amazon and that turned up.
$4.99 sold.
I reckon you can make that look better.
Sorry?
You can make that look better.
Hey, go for
No, not me. Not me. I think you can make it look better.
Come on then, Jamie. 10 questions. Let's go.
10 questions. I feel like you guys are going to hate me for these quizzes.
Oh
like,
no, Jamie.
I don't want
They're
to
not
start
game
off-
week.
Have you looked
No,
at these?
no game week.
Jamie,
ones.
I feel like you're sat too far forward.
Look.
No, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're fine. They're not
Ben's
serious.
careful
I
of
don't want to put the feet on the sofa. I don't want to.
Massive chunky trainers on again.
I don't want to take my shoes off, otherwise I'm going to get absolutely rinsed as well.
Why, you got holes in your socks?
No.
Do you want to borrow my Converse?
Definitely not. I've just had the holes out.
Right. Question 1. I'm saying these questions are quite hard.
Well, so don't.
What?
I can't fucking see,
You can't
mate.
see anything.
That's
Ben.
why I think I'm leading.
Nibs. What club was Nicholas Anelka on loan to before joining Manchester City in 2002?
Bolton.
No.
Portsmouth.
No. What club?
West Brom.
No. That was the end of his career. What club was Nicholas Anelka on loan to before joining Manchester City in 2002? 5, 4, 3.
Fenerbahce.
No, you're all back in. What club was Nicholas Anelka on loan to?
Liverpool.
Correct answer. Yeah.
Come on.
God, he had some silent non-fees.
I was thinking lower league teams. I don't know why. It's a good start. Good start.
That's Stoke in my head.
I don't think he played for Stoke.
Definitely not.
Everyone played for Stoke at some point.
Question 2 is a career path question. I have played for Blackburn Rovers, Chelsea, Newcastle.
Damien Duff.
Damien Duff.
Damien Duff. Correct
no.
answer. Well done,
Newcastle,
Tom.
you were in there, weren't you? Boomshka. Tom's very good at them. You're turning into the man for them,
Yeah,
Tom.
you are, Tom.
Yeah, you are.
Got to be quicker off the draw than that time.
Who's Damien Duff manager of now? Irish team, isn't
Yeah.
it? League of Ireland.
Sherborne? No.
Shamrock Rovers.
They won the league,
Shamrock.
didn't they?
Yeah. Is it Sherborne? No.
They won the. Did you see the brilliant clip with the lads in the changing room?
was
Waterford?
And he said if he answers the, I'm putting 500 quid in the shaker.
He didn't
Yeah.
answer there, did he?
No.
What a guy he is.
Yeah.
Who?
Duffer.
Damien Duff.
Yeah. Great guy.
Question 3. Michael Essien played for what national team?
Ghana.
That's Tom.
That was Thomas.
Oh, yeah, Tom.
There were a lot answered that question.
Not a bad question.
Did you answer it?
Yeah. It's a bad
All four, like.
Hey, this lack of booze has just made me a bit.
Frustrated, yeah.
It's frustrating, mate. I've been there. I'm still there.
That is sharpen up.
Question 4. Apart from James Milner, can you name one of the other 2 players currently playing in the Premier League in top 10 passes of all time in Premier League history?
Lewis Dunk.
No.
Mate, Lewis Dunk is always up there. Promise you.
Yes, yeah.
Promise you.
Apart from James Milner, can you name one of the other 2 players currently playing in the Premier League who are in top 10 passes of all time in Premier League history?
Johnny Evans.
No.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk's the correct answer. He's 5th on the
In
list.
my head as well, but never.
The other one is
going for it.
Kyle Walker on 2nd. He's 2nd on the
That's
list.
'cause you
And he will
like
get
Kyle
number 1
Walker.
this year,
You will never
overtaking
do it.
Do you know what? I was going to go with
I
Lallana.
think.
Nice.
So, scores are
2-1-1 now.
Sorry, Ben, what was it?
Right, still my
He
thumbs up.
getting really agitated.
What are you getting worried about? There's
He was going to do the most laborious score recap ever.
okay.
Tom on 2, Ben on 1. 2-1-1 now.
Right, okay. No one knows who that's where, but okay. Question 5.
You can see, yeah, answers it.
Who is Ipswich's biggest signing of all time?
Muric.
No. It's quite big, but not that.
Amari Hutchinson.
Amari Hutchinson's the correct answer.
I'm on the board.
Good, it's good, it's good. I thought you meant height. I thought you meant height.
What's the score, Jay?
The score is 2-1-1-1-1. Right.
1-1-1-1. There's an extra player. 2-1-1-1-1.
Well, Grob got one as well.
new formation.
Question 6. Who is the highest scoring Scottish player in Premier League history?
Oh, that's a good question.
Stephen Fletcher.
McGinn.
Stephen Fletcher is 3rd on the list. McGinn is not there.
He'll like that as well. He'll never listen, but.
Who is the highest scoring Scottish player in Premier League history?
Oh, that's a good question, that. I like that.
5, 4, 3, 2.
McTominay.
No.
Are we back in?
I've
He's Scottish, isn't he?
We're all back in because the countdown's gone.
Barry Ferguson?
Oh,
No.
McFadden.
No. Toes?
Have I got the wrong name there?
Jamie.
James McFadden?
Everton.
No, it's definitely not, is he?
5.
Am I in or out?
Oh, am I in?
Am I in or out?
You can't do that because Grub just did something.
No,
you don't get it
you're
from
not.
that. No chance.
No, we're not. We're
No
not.
chance.
But
No
were
one's
I in or
backing us
out
for this.
there?
No, you're out.
You
You're
just-
out. You said McTominay.
I wouldn't
Grub
have
just
got
I
went
know,
like
but I thought
that
we were
and
all
Tom
back
got
in
it.
again
And
then.
so I don't know what the answer is,
If you
but
had
you
one or
just
two
got it from that.
I know it is.
Naismith.
Get another
No, it's Drunken Ferguson.
Duncan Ferguson.
one. No, it's too late. I'm sorry. Everybody's been arguing.
There you go, boom. I like
Right,
it.
Duncan Ferguson.
Naughty
68.
that. He was trying to claim.
do anything.
Grub went like that and you went,
naughty.
got it, I'm back in, I'm back in.
Oh, it's awful.
Duncan Ferguson, 68. Kevin Gallagher, 56. Stephen Fletcher, 53.
Oh, third, well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Fletcher's got 53.
Yeah, he does.
Good, that's a
Ben,
good
can you
return.
just simmer
So,
that?
because I was closest, do I get the point?
No, you don't. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Question?
Getting very aggressive.
Yeah, you are. You're
Yeah.
like you've.
A bit nervous.
Yeah. You need, if you just
Been a bit
did this
shaky.
morning.
Spot alone as well.
No, it's all right, mate. It's all right.
Question 7. Who is the only player to score a hat-trick of penalties in Premier League history?
Clivert.
Clive's a
Bloody
correct
hell,
answer.
that's me.
How did I not get there?
That's not good for the game. That's not good for the game.
Yeah. Memory,
Haters you lot,
memory
huh?
loss that is.
Yeah, but that's it. You see, in the near.
What's the score?
What's the score?
2-2-1-1.
2.
2-2, 1-1.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Question 8. Roberto Mancini has played for one Premier League club
Leicester.
on loan, but which club
Leicester.
was it? Leicester is the correct answer.
Such a bad question.
He's got that straight up.
Good
No,
answer.
it's not a bad
Because
question.
but he's only played for one Premier League team, and it's Leicester.
Why
How
is
do
he
you know
kicking
that?
off?
Yeah.
I don't understand why you keep
you knew that,
You got it right. You got it right.
I was thinking it can't be as simple as that.
It's
It
a
has to
good-
be going
that's
down
a
the
good
garden
question.
path or something.
That's one of those players that you forgot played in
But
the
he
yeah.
scored his opening goal against which team? Something like that.
It's
I
Tom,
seem
can-
to manage with it then.
Yeah, Tom, can you just let it last?
Give him a
bit longer
chance,
next
Tom.
time?
Give him a chance.
Yeah, that was quite a good question.
It was a good question.
3-2-1-1.
What year was it? Do you know what year?
98.
No,
94.
no,
96.
no.
2003.
2001. He played for 4 appearances.
Oh well. That's it. then.
Yeah, I knew you were going to correct him on that. You're nitpicking now, Benji.
2 questions left.
Sorry, Jay.
Yeah,
I am.
I might give you a -1 in a minute.
Oh,
Take some
yes!
off. Take some off for
VAR.
bullying.
Question
Bullying.
9. What was the previous Premier League club Nuno Espirito Santo
Wolves.
managed before Nottingham Forest? Wolves is incorrect.
Tottenham.
It's incorrect. Tottenham's the correct answer.
in.
You gave up too early, you
Yeah, I
did.
did. I lost my head there. I lost my head. I did.
got it.
Hey,
You think
I lost my head.
old Pep's lost his
I
head.
lost my head then. I was
You thought
snapping.
he'd got it right, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think we do a post-match.
What were you going to snap at?
Because
you did well
if
with
it would have been Wolves,
thought you
right,
were gonna
it'd
say
have been too easy or something. I don't know.
You'd have thought about that at the time.
I'm in a right kerfuffle. I'm in a right kerfuffle.
What's this? Is this question 10?
3,
Yeah.
2, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Oh, it's finally poised. What a...
I know. I shouldn't answer, should I?
No.
Question
Actually, you should.
Just
10.
tell me.
James Milner joined Manchester City in 2010.
Newcastle.
What club? Villa's the correct answer.
No!
These are
You know
so
what?
rubbish
I knew that.
questions.
And
Oh, these are
They're
rubbish.
so
They are
rubbish questions.
rubbish. I'm not
It
having
comes straight to me head, Villa.
Any questions, yeah? Any questions that can be answered in half a second of you actually speaking, yeah, should not be allowed. You should have to. It should be a long-winded question where you go, James Milner joined them, but for how much? So when he jumps in with Villa, yeah, and he says Villa, you go, no, you're out of the question. That's how the question should be structured. These are too easy.
Just to make Ben happy, can we do double points next week?
You're taking it well, I
Is
think.
there a tiebreaker, Joe?
There is a
Can
tiebreaker,
we do
yeah.
that just to tip him over the
Yeah.
edge?
You need to trip us up more, yeah? This is the whole point of good quiz. You need to trip you up more. So he jumps in with a Villa, yeah, or a Leeds or whatever, and then you go, no, I haven't finished the question yet. And we all go, no,
Bring
mate.
back Goldbridge. That's what I say.
He's lost his head.
He has fully lost his head.
Never seen
I
this
can only
before.
apologise.
Oh,
You
wow.
know what the good
It's
news
2
is there, Ben? We're on the same team for the Christmas quiz.
That's not fair, is it?
No, I wouldn't say.
Why is that not fair?
We'll be a dream team.
Who are you with, Jim?
Oh, they'll talk to each other. won't they?
You are
Talk
one
to each-
fickle son of a gun.
Yeah.
Toad, do you want to do the Christmas quiz?
I'll do it. Is it next week, is
Next
it?
week.
Yeah.
If you're about, mate, you're in.
Yeah.
You'll be on my team.
You'll be on Watto's team.
Yeah.
We can show these.
I'm just calming myself down.
Yeah.
It's a good quiz next week as well.
Feel like I
Oh,
need
is
to
it?
avenge
Have they got better questions where you can't just jump?
You should do with David Dunn. Oh no, David Dunn. Damien Duff.
Talking about the Duns, Richard Dunn finished his playing career at what club?
Oh.
QPR.
Correct answer. Correct answer. What, do you like that one, yeah?
That's
Like
a
that
good
question?
question. That was a good question.
Was that a good
That was a
question?
good question.
You relax too much. That's what.
Tom, you're starting
noticed
to,
someone
He's pulling away, I don't like
walk
it.
They're
away
gonna
with
ban
it.
you.
Yeah.
Walk away with it.
Gap.
I'm not on every week as well.
There's a gap.
Yeah,
He is on every week. Literally on every week.
Hey,
He's
last time
missed like 2 episodes.
Last time Toes was in.
Yeah, you should have had my point. I should have done it.
Yeah, so just scratch it up to 8.
I was sat in your seat, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom
Are
won
we,
7.
are we doing double points for the Christmas quiz then?
This Christmas quiz, there is
Like-
some like special features where you could get
Special feature?
Yeah, I think it was a
bonus
really
points.
good quiz this week.
Do you know what you should
Thanks.
do with the Christmas quiz? You should do questions where it's like passwords and stuff like that.
It's a great. It's like it's my
What do you want? My
password
password?
category.
He keeps trying to sell us this thing. There's a new question format, a quiz format where you have to find a password, and he keeps saying, "Tell the viewers about the password."
I
thing
think
that I've got on."
quite. Imagine you've got Cole Palmer on the screen, yeah, and like it's Cole
We're
Palmer.
doing it again then.
Oh, so it's charades.
Yeah, like charades. Yeah, but you've got to try and say some certain words, which
Yeah.
So what
would
happens
be
to
actually
the
good.
audio only?
Yes, yeah.
That sounds ledge.
You've listened up. You've listened up.
you know.
I
Like,
have to watch.
Yeah.
Jamie, I feel like you've taken a bit of a hiding today.
Well done, mate. Well
It's all
done.
done out of love, isn't it?
Yeah,
Ben?
we love
Oh,
you.
I
too,
love it, it's fine.
No, you,
We wouldn't do
but
it.
Tell him that you love him.
I wouldn't do it if I didn't love you.
Tell him that you're sorry.
I'm
Just to
sorry as
confirm,
well.
what I can't see what's on that board.
I can't see any-
Cannot see anything.
Right, well
In
done.
fact, if I bring my glasses next week, we might have a
I
chance.
dare you to bring your glasses.
I'll bring
Dare
my
you.
glasses next week.
Watto's going to wear his glasses on the quiz next week, everybody.
Perfect.
Perfect. Right, we'll see you next week, you lot. We're off to... Where are we doing? Liam Ridgewell on the
Liam Ridgewell.
podcast. See you soon.